Hello everyone, welcome back to US Healthcare Academy. So as promised, here I am with the details of each and every segment and each and every element in the EDI-837 file. So guys, in the last video we saw how an EDI-837 file is structured. So if you haven't watched my last video till now, please go ahead and watch that video so that you have a basic understanding how an EDI-837 file structure looks like, so that you will be able to better understand this video and upcoming all the videos. All right, so let's get started. So guys, in today's video, I'm going to take you through the header segment, which is ISA segment, the functional group header segment, the transaction set header segment, and then the end of transaction set header, which is transaction set trailer, the end of functional group header, which is the GE, which is functional group trailer, and the end of interchange control header, which is the end of that, which is interchange control trailer. So guys, let's get started. All right. So these are the technical specifications of the EDI-837 file. In the first column, column A, it's the loop number. If loop number is applicable, then there will be a loop number here. But the ISA, GS, and ST segment doesn't have a loop number because those are, those are not repetitive segments. Usage, if it is a required element, and the segment plus element. So this shows that this is ISA segment first element, the name of the element, and I put an example of that segment here, and if any notes that are applicable will be here, and the length of that element. So let's get started. So guys, ISA 01, which is ISA is the segment and 01 is the first element. Okay, here in the example it is 00. So what is ISA 01? It is authorization information qualifier. So basically 00 means that no authorization information is required or present. Okay, and the default value is 03, which is the authorization information is present. Now what is authorization information? Authorization information is the second element of ISA segment. So first is the qualifier, which tells about the second element, which is this, that if the second element is present in the file or not. So 00 means it is not present, and that's why it is represented by dots. And 03 means that the element is present. So if it is present, if here it is 03 like this, then here there will be some authorization information like any number which has been assigned by the payer. Okay, and all right, let's move to ISA 03. Again, this is a security information qualifier. So if there is any password assigned by the payer, which identifies the sender of this file, then that security information will go in ISA 04 element, but ISA 03 just tells about the ISA 04 element if that information is present or not. So 00 means if this qualifier, if it was 00, then this fourth element won't be present. However, this is 01, which means password. That means this is the password, the security information. All right. Hope this is clear till here. Let's move ahead with ISA 05. ISA 05 is the interchange ID qualifier. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. At this point in time, it is ZZ. So ZZ means it is a mutually defined interchange ID. Okay, this is the interchange ID. So again, remember, this is just a qualifier. The actual data for this qualifier goes in the next segment, which is ISA 06. All right. So basically, mutually defined means that it's between the payer and the sender of this EDI file. So they have some customized identifier, and that's why the qualifier is easy. And similarly, if it is 20, then it is the health industry number, which is HIN. If it is 27, then it's carrier identification number as assigned by Healthcare Financing Administration, which is HICFA, and so on. So remember, guys, these are the definitions of the qualifier, and this is the actual qualifier. It's easy. Now the actual interchange sender ID. So whatever sender ID payer has assigned or they have decided that this will be the sender ID. Sender ID means whoever is sending this file, to identify that sender, there is a unique sender ID, which is also called as submitter ID. Okay, so that information, it can be a tax number, tax identification number, or it can be any mutually defined number, or for that matter this 20 health industry number. Okay, so this is the unique ID by which the payer will identify the sender of this file. Again, interchange ID qualifier. So interchange, this is the receiver ID qualifier. So receiver is nothing but the payer or whoever is receiving this file. Okay, so in this case, because this is a claim file, so at any point in time, sender will be a provider's office, or it can be a clearinghouse, and the receiver is obviously going to be the payer. Okay, so ISA 07 is the interchange ID qualifier, same as the interchange ID qualifier here. ISA 05, it is also ZZ, and the definitions are same as the ISA 05. Okay, now ISA 08 is the actual receiver ID, this one here. So again, receiver ID is nothing but a unique ID by which the payer or the receiver of this file is identified. Okay, let's move ahead. Interchange date. So this is the date in ISA 09 segment, 09 element, I'm sorry. ISA segment and 9th element. So March 1st, 2001. And then the ISA 10 is the interchange time. So this is the server time when the file was generated, which is in HHMM format. A repetition separator. So guys, if you watch my first video on how to read an EDI file, I did cover all the other delimiters like this segment delimiter, segment separator, which is a tilde sign, like this asterisk sign, which is the element separator. We also covered the sub-element separator, which is the colon sign. But intentionally, I did not cover repetition separator. There was a reason for that, because I didn't want to confuse you. But what repetition separator is, okay, in here in this file, it is ISA 11 element, which is this sign here, upward arrow. I don't know what it's caret, I think, yeah, caret sign. The repetition separator means that in a specific element, if that element is repeating, then there will be a caret sign like this, and then sender code, maybe sender ID. Okay, so this together is one element, but there can be two identifiers in the same element. So for that additional identifier, this is the repetition separator, which tells that this and this is the same element, but it's a different ID. One is a sender code, one is a sender ID. This can be two different numbers. Hope that is clear. Okay, moving ahead. Interchange control version number. This is the version number, which is 5010. So as I discussed in my previous video, in 2011, 12, 13, or yeah, sometime before that, sometime before 2013, the version of the EDI file was 4010, and then after 2013 they moved to 5010 with some changes in the format, and that's why the version is here 5010. Okay, now this is very important, guys. ISA 13, it is called interchange control number. Interchange control number, this is very important because this is a unique number assigned to each EDI file. So that EDI file is uniquely identified by this interchange control number. So guys, like example, subscriber is identified by a subscriber ID, payer is identified by a payer ID, provider is identified by a national provider identifier. In the same way, the interchange control number, it is not something that is assigned by some governing body of EDI to this file, but it is a unique number that is generated each time the EDI file is generated. So it cannot be the same for two EDI files. If it is, the file is going to fail because the payer is going to recognize this file as a duplicate file. Okay, so remember this. So this number is also comes in handy when suppose I want to call the payer and inquire about some claim or some rejection on the claim, and if I am connected to their EDI department, first number that I'll have to give them is this interchange control number, and then they will find the claim number in that, in that claim file. So remember, this is the unique identifier for each EDI file. All right, hope this is clear. Acknowledgement requested. So that is ISA 14, which is this here, this element, which has a value of 1 right now. And 1 means that acknowledgement requested, that acknowledgement is required. And 0 means not requested or not required. What that means is, guys, remember, acknowledgement is nothing but it's a 999 file. Now, if you have watched my previous videos, you will know that 999 file is nothing but it's an acknowledgement. It's a receipt of file. So basically, when I send an EDI file to a payer or to a clearinghouse, they will send back a 99 file which will acknowledge the receipt of my file, which will tell me that, oh, okay, fine, my file has been received by the receiver. Also, if your file has failed, like if there is some structural issues in the file, it will fail, and also the information about what segment, because of which segment the file failed, and yeah, which element, all that information will be in the 999 file, which is the acknowledgement requested. So basically, a value of 1 year means is that yes, when I send this file, I need a receipt, like a read receipt, like a 999 back to me. And if it is 0, then it's a black hole. You don't know if what was the status of your file. I mean, yeah, 99% of the file times your files are going fine, but take that 1% when your file fails and you don't even know about it because you're not requesting for the acknowledgement, the 999. All right, hope you guys understand the importance of acknowledgement requested. Interchange usage indicator. So basically, it tells if this file that I'm sending, is it a test file or is it a production file? Okay. So simply when I want to do some EDI testing with some trading partner like clearinghouse or something, just to make sure, if I'm a developer and I have produced this EDI-837 file, I want to make sure that, the file is structured well and it's a valid 837 file. That is when, for testing purpose, I will make this element, which is ISA 15, as T, which means test file. And in production scenario, this is always P. Okay, I hope you understand that. All right, so component element separator. So basically, the ISA 16 just tells what character is going to be the component element separator. So guys, remember one thing, ISA segment is a fixed length segment. What that means is ISA 1 has to be 2 in length, 2 digits. The length of ISA 2 is going to be 10. The length of 3 is going to be 2. The length of 4 is going to be 10. What that means is, example, here, see, it is, I say 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and fourth element is, the length is 10. So if your security information is not of 10 digit, and in this example it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but I'll have to leave two spaces here. So each element in ISA segment has a fixed length, and if the value going in that element is not of that length, then you will have fillers, spaces as fillers, okay, else this file is going to fail. Remember guys, so ISA segment is a fixed length segment. Okay guys, ISA segment is the most important segment when it comes to headers. Okay, and if you understand this well, half the work is done. Okay, now let's move to the GS segment, which is functional group header. Now in my last EDI video I did tell you what an ISA, in a simple term, is, what a group functional header is. Remember our example of a box, where I'm sending CMS 1500 forms and I'm sending eligibility request, and we have made compartments in the box, and those compartments are functional group header, and that box entirely is an ISA segment on which I have the from address to address. So in this example, the sender ID, the receiver ID, okay, and like there is a tracking number of the for the courier. This interchange control number here, ISA 13, as I told you, is a unique identifier of that file. Like the tracking number for any blue dart or any courier service, that is the unique number for that parcel. So in same way, ISA 13 is the unique number for that file. I can't stress enough on this guys, this is very important. So make sure that if you don't understand, go through it again. All right, functional group header, and the GS01 element is functional identifier code. So functional identifier code, HC is for healthcare claims. So because this file is an 837 file, so that's why this first element is always going to be HC. And again, there is a sender code, receiver code, which is same, that is submitter ID, receiver ID. Okay. Uh, Again, date, time, same information, so I'm not going to go through it again. A version or industry identifier code is again the version of the file, which is 5010 X222A1. Okay, so that's all the information that goes in the functional group header. Now transaction set header, here you only need to make sure of this first element. This shows what transactions are in this file. So all these transactions that you see here in the ST segment, between ST and SC segment, what are the transactions? So here it says 837, that means these are healthcare claims. Okay, transaction set control number. So guys, each and every segment, like for a file, there is a unique identifier, which is an interchange control number. So if there are multiple groups under and between the ISA segment, then each group will have a group control number, but most of the time this is the same number as the interchange control number. But if not, this is the number that uniquely identifies this group, remember that. In the same way, transaction set control number is the unique number that identifies that transaction set, so that identifies this part here. Okay, and coming to implementation guide, version name again is the same as the version of the file, which is again 5010-222 or 5010-222A1. This is an advanced version, this is a older version. Okay, so guys, hope this is clear. Now we talked about ISA GSST, start of the header, but let's talk about the end of the file as well. Okay, and then in future videos I'll take you through each and every loop, each and every segment, each and every element into it. But for now, let's understand what a transaction set trailer, functional group trailer, and interchange control trailer has. Nothing much is there in those segments. So let's go to SE. So basically, SE just has the segment count. The first element is the segment count. So basically, how many segments were there between this ST and SE? So all these segments, now these are loops, guys, okay? But there are segments under each loop. So it counts all those segments, and that number of segments are represented here, 50. Okay. Transaction set control number is again nothing but at the start of the ST there was a transaction set control number is the same number. So basically that shows that this is the end of this transaction set. Okay. This transaction set control number shows that this transaction set has ended here now. Okay. Similar way, functional group trailer has the number of transaction sets. So basically how SE has the number of segments between the ST and SE, in same way the group functional trailer or functional group trailer has the number of ST segments between GS and GE. Now IEA is the interchange control trailer, so end of the interchange control header, and it has nothing but the number of GS segments between the IS and IEA. Guys, so I want to tell you, even though right now, as a freshman to EDI, if you are a little confused and if you don't get all of it at once, so don't worry, watch it again. If you don't understand, watch it again. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop comment and I will try my best to answer it. So guys, for today, this is it, and I'll see you in my next video. Till then, you guys have a good day. Bye bye.